All right. Well, we are done with the out of conference. So the people who are upset with Michigan's out of conference schedule can go to the wayside. They can be happy now. We are in Big Ten play. How's everybody feeling about that?
Feeling good. I'm ready to play big boy football, right? I mean, it's felt like a little bit like these are scrimmages up until now. But I'm excited, even though I mean Maryland any year wouldn't be like the top tier, I would say, opponent for the Big Ten, but I think it's a good starting point for Michigan. And so it's a great testimony to see how this defense is going to be because Maryland, not great all around, but great on the offensive side of the ball, especially statistically up until this point.
Absolutely. And I'm interested to get everybody's take on it, but my thought with the Maryland offense is if you have ever just heard of someone who may have had some potentially heart problems or need some testing going on, they do what's called a stress test where they put you on a treadmill. They have you run a little bit. They're not going to have you run, a marathon or anything like that. They want to see that heart rate kind of just punch up just a little bit to see
Mm-hmm.
kind of what's going on, what happens when that heart rate kind of goes up a little bit. And I would liken this play, specifically the Michigan defense playing the Maryland offense, to a stress test. Like, I don't think that this Maryland offense is going to score 35 or anything like that on this Michigan defense. But I do think in between the 20s, I think it's going to be at least a little bit stressful where that heart rate might get up a little bit. But I do think that Maryland does pose some challenges. Dre, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm thinking along the lines of that. That is going to be definitely additional stress, at least some amount of stress compared to the last 3 weeks. I mean, I've made the joke, but I'm serious. You can combine the three teams, and Michigan still beat them by 30. That's how minuscule the competition level was. It just is what it is, and oh, look, the players can't control that. They play who's across from them. And by all means, they've done an incredible job. They lead the nation's points per game. I think about 55.3 points per game Michigan's doing. So, look, they're doing their job. There are a couple of things that I am curious about that I would like to see improved. Look, fact of the matter is, this team didn't record a sack against UConn last week. So, I mean, that is, like, concerning for me. Was it UConn? Yeah, UConn last week. So, I mean, I think they have 8 sacks in total. I think it was 6 or 7 of those sacks came week one versus Colorado State or something like that. So um, I am a little bit concerned, being that Maryland's strength is the passing game, and versus what you would think inferior offensive line talent compared to what Maryland has. Not that saying it's going to be great shakes, but I would assume it's better than the last 3 weeks. Um, I would hope we do get better pressure on Talia as opposed to the last 3 weeks. So that's a bit of concern, but that's a part of the stress, right, Des? Let's find out more what this team is capable of. And, so from that standpoint, I'm looking forward to it because it's hard to get a good read on how good this team really is. We know they should be really good. We know how good they were last year. We know what they have returning. We know what their goals are for this year. So, hopefully we can get a little bit of a better gauge after Maryland.
Absolutely. Mark, what are your thoughts on it? On Maryland being the stress test for Michigan?
Yeah, how about the stress test on JJ?
Mm.
Just in regards to not necessarily Maryland having a great defense, but Big Ten opener at the big house, more people watching the game nationwide, and yeah, definite step up in speed, athleticism, an upgrade on the other side of the ball, and the importance of the game being ramped up this week. So JJ for the second straight week carries the load, play one on, but this time against an opponent that just beat SMU. That's a pretty decent win. So they come in 3-0 as well. So JJ gets the stress test.